Hey everybody, as you may know, the Rolling Stones, their album Aftermath had just turned 60 years old, the UK version however, and I just want to go ahead and just revisit, or perhaps just kind of go back and not do a review, but kind of go through the songs and just kind of just talk about Aftermath. I mean, now, of course, I'm going to be talking about the United States version, which came out in July of '66. But the UK version had just turned 60. It came out in April of '66. And I'm going to basically balance it out, just to see which one is perhaps better. But I want to just focus on just the United States version. So yeah, I did. Now, obviously, I had done every single Rolling Stones album, basically, And I remember doing a review of my take on Aftermath. So I kind of want to go back here and just kind of, retouch upon what I missed or whatever, So, yeah, I'm going to primarily just focus on just the United States version. Now, the album was originally supposed to be called If You Could Walk on Water. And the people in Decca were like, no way, you're not going to name it that, And Andrew Luke Oldham perhaps kind of sneered on that album cover, Because it was even at the time, too, where John Lennon had just said that the Beatles were bigger than Jesus and all that. And as you may know, the album cover of the big hits, or High Tide and Green Grass big hits, was supposedly the album cover for what was to be then called Aftermath, Now, of course, this was, just, the album that basically just had the Jagger Richards combo, the team of them. And, I mean, I'm kind of like, as I listen back to the album, as I had said previously, that I really, really liked Aftermath. I'm kind of thinking about it. I actually kind of feel a little bit mixed about the album now. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a bad album, but I think it's quite good, Like, I mean, I can't deny the opening track, Painted Black. I mean, that's definitely one of their great 60s songs, Now it does open, the UK version opens up with Mother's Little Helper, That's really quite surreal and just quite dark, just like Painted Black. But I mean, but of course they have two different sides of the story, two different, just two different stories basically, But it's even got the song "Stupid Girl," which I mean, it's actually good, but I mean, it's not like a great song. And Lady Jane, I like Lady Jane. I mean, I know it appeared on a lot of the Stones albums, of course. I believe mostly in North America it appeared a lot on their albums, and I think even the UK, I believe, yeah. Under My Thumb, yeah. I mean, who doesn't love that xylophone? Who doesn't love that intro, too? It's just like one of those fun songs. I mean, Oh, yeah, Don't You Bother Me. That kind of reminds me a lot of what's to come later in their career, with Jimmy Miller and all that, Especially like Let It Bleed and all that. I like Think. I was just listening to that song, not that. Actually, I was listening on the way home from work. Yeah, Think back, baby. I love that song. With a really, like Keith Richards is not, I wouldn't say he's a great guitarist, but he's just, he plays sloppily, but it just fits within that, just what they were, just that recording of that song, like, And I like the Tell Me Whose Fault Is That, Babe, or the chorus or whatever. Tell me whose fault is that, babe? That's catchy as all hell. And you flip it over and it's Flight 505. I mean, just another great song. And High and Dry. Another song that I look forward to, like Beggar's Banquet and Let It Bleed. And I even like It's Not Easy Living on Your Own. You know, it has a little bit like a Between the Buttons, like, you know, they were still, and even like they still didn't detach to like their earlier stuff, you know what I mean? Like they were still holding on to that sound, you know, the Chicago blues. But of course, I Am Waiting kind of looks forward to stuff like Between the Buttons, obviously, you know. And Going Home, it's just, I think it's a little bit too much, you know. But yeah, Aftermath, I mean, just, it's a really good album, but I wouldn't say it's, you know, I mean, thinking back to my review, I'm like, as I kind of remember back, I remember like being like, oh yeah, it's great, it's wonderful, but kind of like listening back, I'm like thinking, well, you know, Past Me, well, do I really think that this is a great album? And now thinking now, or at least thinking about it now, or however, you know, it's still good, you know. I mean, definitely my favorites is Painted Black, Lady Jane, Under My Thumb, Think, you know, High and Dry, It's Not Easy, and I'm Waiting. As for the others, are kind of just, you know, kind of not great songs, but you know. But yeah, anyways, I think Aftermath is a good album, and I think looking back now, that now it's been 60 years of the album, I think it's a very good album. You know, I wouldn't say it's, you know, for what's to come, you know, but yeah, great stuff. Okay, folks, hope you enjoyed this one. Take care. Bye-bye.